Okay, authors, today I want to talk about a tool that you have in your back pocket that you might not even know that you have. So, whether you're an author who already has a book out there or you're looking to launch your book, maybe you're in pre sale mode, this tip can help you. And what is it? It is how you can grow revenue and awareness through launching a podcast with your book. Your book is filled with phenomenal content from the first page all the way to the back page, and it serves as years of marketing content for you. And one thing you can do with it is actually take all of it and turn it into a podcast. Now, I'm not saying read chapter by chapter, give away your book for free, but rather pull out themes from your book to start to plan out and strategize your episodes. Now, let's talk through a couple ways that you can format a podcast, and then I'm going to go into the benefits a little bit deeper. So, number one, the very traditional way of taking your book and turning it into a podcast is taking all your chapter themes, and typically there's 12 to 20, however many chapters you have. Each one of those chapters becomes its own episode. So you're not, again, reading specifically from that chapter. You're talking about the lessons within each chapter. The whole point of having a podcast for your book is to generate awareness, excitement, and take readers in, building that trust so then they can feel that trust to purchase. So you can lay it out, like I said, with all of your chapter themes. Another great format, and this is one I actually highly suggest to all of our authors, is doing a mix of that one mixed with getting some of your friendlies in your niche and space, bringing them on to interview you. So they are the host, you are the guest. It gives readers such an authentic look of what your mindset was when you were writing each section of the book. It also brings out your personality because let's face it, sometimes doing a podcast on our own, it can be a little bit intimidating. So this automatically brings a little bit more of a comfort level. The other great benefit is it also grows your awareness for that episode. So, for example, if your friend has a decent social media following, have them push that out on social, their episode with you. So, those are just two very quick ways on how to structure an episode. Now, there's a lot that goes into podcasting, and we are not going to get into all things podcasting 101 in this episode. We will in another one. But the things to remember when you are building out your podcast are this. One, you want to make sure you're adding value. So, really think about your target audience as your reader and what do they want to know? Again, podcasts are informational. And so, you want to make sure it's information that actually wants to be digested and your target audience would actually care about learning. Number two, you want a good structure. I'm not saying you have to be super polished, but what I am saying is know your parameters with it. So if you are someone that can talk easily and engage people for 30 minutes, amazing, you have a 30-minute podcast. If you have the gift of gab and you really can bring value into an hour episode, amazing. But figure out what that comfort level is and stick to that time frame. Now, some podcasts will be longer than others because of the content that's being shared, but you need to have a loose idea of how long you want each episode. The third is you need to edit your episode. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're noticing in this YouTube video, I have slip ups that you see as well. But if you have very long pauses or you went down a road for 10 minutes and then came back to your point, let's edit out those 10 minutes and only keep key relevant information. And you can find great editors on Redsea, on Fiverr, many different places that you do not have to spend a dime with. And with Redsea, the thing I love about it is you can also find people to help build out your podcast specifically for authors. But Fiverr, Upwork, you name it, those are great places too. Then the thing, and I know it sounds so counterintuitive, but the thing that most authors forget to do is promote your episode, just like your book. Just because you have a phenomenal episode does not mean people are going to discover it. You've got to let your audience know. So promote that you have a new podcast, email your list, do social media, ask guests to promote the episodes. And by doing all of these things, what you're doing with your podcast is reaching new audiences that you wouldn't have found otherwise. They probably wouldn't have found you on social or joined your email list because they digest their content differently. And a podcast offers another medium to reach new people. It also helps you build real credibility and authority. And as an author, that is key as you want to see those sales start to climb, is people have to know you are the expert on this topic, and here is why. And a podcast is a great opportunity to build that. It's also a great media tool because as you're inviting people onto your show, you are creating new relationships with new individuals that will lead to new opportunities. And lastly, the podcast, of course, is going to help generate sales because you're reaching new audiences by reaching new friends. And so you will see your sales start to reignite or start to climb during pre sale. So I hope this really quick snapshot of what a podcast can do for your book sale helps. And let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment below.